Hello, my name is Winnie White, and I am the mother of Sandy K. White. And I just wanted to share a little bit about Sandy K and Prader Willi Syndrome because I've been teaching since 1997 and never heard of Prader Willi Syndrome until Sandy K. Most people, it is a rare genetic condition. So most people haven't heard of Prader-Willi syndrome, and there are and people with Prader-Willi syndrome are very unique. First of all, it is a rare condition, genetic condition. It is the most popular rare genetic condition, but it's still rare. It's not inherited. So, for example, she has an issue with her 15th chromosome. She has, it is not genetic. It's just an accident in genes. It is life-threatening. It is something that she's going to deal with for the rest of her life. And it was first described all the way back in the 50s. And since the 50s, there's been a lot of changes in science with Prader-Willi syndrome. Sandy K actually has this one right here, the maternal UPD, which means this part right here, the 15q13 section of her genetics on her 15th chromosome. She has two maternal ones. She has my maternal one, and then my husband brought over his maternal one from his mother rather than having a maternal and a paternal. And as a result, we have a lot of issues with the endocrine system. So this is what happens with PWS, the 15th chromosome, in that one little area. It affects children from birth. When she was born, she was floppy. So there's some physical issues with the muscles, lots of medical concerns. She has psychological and behavioral aspects that we deal with as well. There is some cognitive disabilities, and of course, there's going to be speech and language. So let's just talk about the physical feature of infants and children with Prader-Willi syndrome. It's called hypotonia, which I'm sure the OT and the PT will have heard this multiple times, but it just means low muscle tone. You can see just her walking into the building carrying her book sack. It's a big deal. Carrying her book sack and her lunchbox at the same time is a big deal. She trips easily. She is easily pushed by another kid. Let's just say a kid comes up and gives them a hug. She might get off balance. There is some lethargy. And that's just as a child, as an infant, she did a lot of sleeping. It's gotten progressively better. I'm hoping that in kindergarten, it will not be a big issue that she will not have a nap. There are some feeding difficulties. As an infant, she couldn't feed. She had to have a G tube, and then we progressively got her to a bottle over 6 to 8 months, and was able to take out the G tube. She does have some weaknesses in muscles right here, so that means that she's going to easily choke. So it is very important that when she is eating, somebody is actually with her, because she will shove too much in her mouth, and as a result, she may choke. There are a lot of delayed milestones, sitting up, smiling, all those things, speaking, laughing, being able to blow bubbles. We're still not even there. Some issues with eyes, it's not because there's weak muscles everywhere. And as a result, sometimes she has some weakness of eye muscle, but most of the time you can't really tell. And then you've got the hypothalamic disorder in addition to scoliosis. So she does wear a brace. We most of the time wear the brace during nap time and bedtime, and some morning times. I'm not sure what we'll do in school, but she wears it about 14 hours a day. So I'm trying to decide. I would love to talk with the teacher about options for wearing her brace during the day. So at about 2 to 4 years, this is what the big deal is in Prader-Willi syndrome. It's called hyperphagia, and that is this excessive eating issue. They do not experience satiation. They live in a state of hunger often. Actually, it's really more like starving. Thankfully, Sandy K is not there. She is not in hyperphagia. That is what we call stage 3. She's still in stage 2B, and in stage 2B, she she actually is very infatuated with food, but she doesn't have hyperphagia. There's a big difference. I will talk about stage B in a little bit, but in a lot of children with Prader Willi syndrome, they have sleeping disturbances increasing. They have some extreme weight gain, which we've been able to keep that under control with a very strict diet. Poor physical coordination that comes with that hypotonia, speech delays, extreme flexibility, short stature. So we do not have short stature because she started growth hormone treatment at 12 months. She does have scoliosis and this hypothalamic disorder. A lot of people with Prader-Willi syndrome, as you can see, some of these are the physical characteristics. A lot of easy bruising. So she may fall and get bruises on her legs. It's normal. She has a shot every night in her backside, and it bruises very easily. Definitely extremely fatigued. Going outside to play when she comes back in, she may not be able to do an activity. She does have irregular body temperature. She gets too hot too quickly or too cold very quickly. So when we're outside and you're outside playing, you're going to see her flare up, her arms, her legs, her face. She's going to sweat badly. So she's just overheats super easily. In the cold, you can even see her little fingers turn blue. And when she gets out of the bathtub, if she's cold, I have to quickly get her warmed up and get her clothes on her. That's just part of the hypothalamus issues. Common characteristics. Most people have normal IQ or near normal IQ with Prader-Willi syndrome, but since Sandy Kay has autism and Prader-Willi syndrome, she does not have normal IQ. She's definitely disabled in that area. You can look at the testing results. A lot of people have anxiety when it comes to food. They're not they're constantly concerned about where the next meal is going to be, or if there's any food in the room, they're hyper focused on it. Um, People with Prader-Willi syndrome seem to be very determined, inflexible to change. We've not seen this with Sandy Kay. We've not seen the humor. We believe that's because of the autism that kind of complicates things. Skilled at puzzles. I'm not sure that she is very skilled at puzzles. I think she can do puzzles, but I've seen a lot of people with Prader-Willi syndrome do very complicated puzzles. Not seen that with Sandy Kay, and I think that's because of her intellectual disability. She is sociable in the fact that lots of people seem to be drawn to her. Um, she These other things that you see on the common characteristic side, the only thing that I've really seen with her is the possibility of skin picking. If she has a lot of times, like one time she had a mosquito bite on her arm and she wanted to pick, and that is very common in Prader-Willi syndrome. I literally cut a sock and put it over her arm so that she could not pick that area. You can see here all the way back to the 1600s, people were actually drawing pictures of very large children. It is the leading cause of morbid obesity in children, but thankfully we called it early with Sandy Kay. We had her diagnosis at 12 months, and we have had her on a very strict diet and lots of therapy since then, actually right out of the NICU. So how was it diagnosed? Well, most of the time, if they are hypotonic at birth, that is one of the main things that people look for, Prader-Willi syndrome. But she had a stroke in utero. So when she was floppy, they attributed it to the stroke. So we did not get the diagnosis in the NICU. We actually got the diagnosis at, like I said, 12 months old, because she was not getting better. And usually people with a stroke, children, babies with a stroke, bounce back quickly because of plasticity. So Understanding how the brain is affected by this genetic situation. First of all, you have to understand the chromosomal impact that number 15, that chromosome 15 I was talking to you, has on on the individual. Definitely, she has received early intervention. She has had speech therapy at starting at 12 months. Before 12 months, the speech therapy was feeding therapy, and it turned into speech therapy at 12 months old. She's had OT since she was 8 months old. She has had PT since she was in the NICU. So there is no cure for PWS. It's something she's just going to have to live with. Of there's lots of opportunities uh, for drug trials, which we were actually supposed to be in a drug trial with oxytocin, but that we were supposed to go to New York City on March the 16th, and as you know what happened in March, we did not go to New York City, so we are on hold with that drug trial until we can travel again. And this little area right here is what is affected by chromosome 15, that spot that I showed you. This is where the hypothalamus is in the pituitary gland, and that's what's causing a lot of her problems. So hyperphagia at stage 3. A lot of times it's good to describe Sandy Kay as being hardwired for food. Even in the household, we have strict rules. The refrigerator is locked, the cabinets are locked. We have a safety lock on the pantry, things like that, because food is always on their mind. You don't understand. I don't understand. We don't experience that. It's a serious condition. Thankfully, we have a lot of food rules and behavior modifications so that when or if there are a few children who do not get into the hyperphagia stage, and we're hoping that for Sandy Kay, when or if she gets into stage 3 hyperphagia, all these rules that we've had all these years will help prevent her from, you know, eating herself to death. So, as you can see, here's a picture of her as a little girl. She did have to have braces all up her legs because of the hyperphagia. She did have to walk with a walker for a while, but things that she may do is people with hyperphagia, they're going to look for food everywhere. It could be on the floor, in the bus, or in the classroom, or the lunchroom. You know, even little packs of mayonnaise. If some kid doesn't want to eat their food and throws it in the trash, you know, that's food, and that's something that they may look at. In extreme cases, you know, even pet food or other ish like it lists. She can get in the bathroom and she'll eat toothpaste. You know, there's things that we have to just be very careful about when it comes to food. People not understanding that she's on a very strict diet and giving her something that she should not eat, that it's not good for her, and that could actually cause more and more eating, and therefore the weight gain, and push us closer into hyperphagia stage 3. I don't want to do that. So what can you do as a professional that works with her? First of all, you know, getting to know Sandy Kay, understanding Prader Willi syndrome, understanding that we have to monitor the weight closely, and that when I have her, we have a strict, you know, medical prescribed diet. It's not just that I don't want her to eat this, it's that she cannot eat a lot of carbs. We have her on a very low carb diet, no sweeteners, no sugar. So it's very hard for us to imagine that, but she's never had it. So you've never had it, you don't necessarily know what you're missing. She needs to be aware, everyone needs to be aware of where she is and where the food is in the classroom, especially during lunch or during snack. So if a person is gaining weight, despite all the other, you know, things that we put into place, then it's probably because there's been some foods that she has sneaked, and we're just not aware of, and we just got to be prepared for that. Um, so we have to create a safe environment when it comes to food. Food's the big issue in our life. She does not need to have access to it. Meals have to be strictly prepared by me. In Mrs. Fason's class last year, I used to get a calendar from the lunchroom, and I would circle the few items that she could actually eat, so that way she had that experience of being able to eat in the classroom. No extras, no eating food at a party. Like, let's say if somebody brought something, just let me know. I can send an alternative in so that she can participate as well. So it says recreation and social events should center around an activity and not about how and when we're going to eat. It's a total shift of thinking. So when food will be part of a social event plan, how to enjoy the food with dietary exchanges before actually going to an event. And that's what we call food security. So there are some obsessive compulsive behaviors. She does do some things. You're going to see it. She does some arranging. She does some hoarding. Thankfully, we've not seen much skin picking. And I have a little video that I put together so that you can see her in action. It is something that she has an RBT. She does get ABA therapy, applied behavioral analysis therapy, and her RBT is Ms. Shea. And Ms. Shea is going to actually be coming into the classroom with her later this year, hopefully soon. But I just want you to see how she reacts. You're going to see a lot of very autistic traits. At this point, we feel like the autism is weighing heavier than the Prader Willi Syndrome, but our whole life has a framework of how to deal with Prader Willi Syndrome. So I'm sure you're more familiar with autism, but just check out Sandy K for a minute.
All right, Sandy K. The directions say, can you find 2 orange bugs, 2 purple bugs, and 2 yellow bugs? Now, match the bugs to the correct boxes. All right, you ready? So grab your bugs. See if you can get them in the right place. All right, Sandy K, let's start with the orange box. You're scooted up far enough. You're okay. All right. No, your chair's plenty scooted in. All right, Sandy K, can you find that orange bug and put in the orange box?
There's definitely a delay from the time we give a direction to the time she actually
Sandy K, look down, please.
A lot of that is joint attention issues.
Grab your bug and put in the correct box.
Doesn't necessarily want to do it either.
You're going to start with the purple one? No, don't put to your face. Put in the correct box.
Often.
All right. What color you can get next? Yellow? Don't put to your face. Put in the correct box. What's next? You can go with another purple one. I think that's a spider. Can you put in the purple box, please? No, don't put to your face. That is a compulsion. She wants to put everything to her face. Good job. Now, what other bug are you going to get? Another yellow one. Dragonfly. Good job. Now, I think all that's left are the 2 orange bugs. Nope, doesn't go there. Where do the orange bugs go? Nope, not in the yellow box. Nope, put to your mouth. I think the orange, nope, we don't put orange and yellow. The yellow one's already there. I think the orange bugs need to go in the orange boxes. Uh-huh. Do your last one. It looks like it's a grasshopper.
It does make some noise. Mostly M sounds.
Where does it go? Good job. Excellent. Okay. Put your crayons down. We use rock crayons because that is what her OT suggested. All right. So now, sit up. Don't put to your mouth, please. If you would go ahead and color your shark. What color are you going to color her? It looks like orange. That's good, Sandy K. Now what color are you going to get? All right.
I'm going to choose one.
Choose one color. And you want to color her bow? look right here, Sandy K. Since you've already done orange, I'm going to put orange down, and you can, no, don't put to your mouth. That is behavior we're working on, redirecting. Go ahead and cut. Ooh, good job. You're looking at your sharp. Look down at it. You gotta look. Look while you color.
Looking at what
Excellent.
you're doing.
So that's one thing that we've been working on is really
do certain things.
not getting so obsessed with actually holding the crayons, because that's part of her compulsion. Not putting things to your mouth, looking at what you're doing. These are all skills that we have been working on for months now. In our homeschooling, we also do some things that our OT suggested. Sandy K, can you put your beads down, please? Put your beads down and let's count them first. Ready? Take your counting finger. We use that as our counting finger. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads. Now, Sandy K, here is your pipe. If you would please thread the beads.
See that little delay? That is very common.
All right, got one. Good job. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's leave, we're going to leave those there. All right, now go to number 2. Good job. And we would continue to do all 6 of these during this activity. I do have some smaller beads, but there was more struggle with the smaller ones, so I went up just a little bit. So we've been working on choosing your own marker. That's right. And opening it. Can you open it, Sandy K? Which color do you want? You want the little yellow? All right, open it. And when you open it, we're going to draw a line. Ready? So put your top in. Flip it over. Not sure if she's left-handed or right-handed yet. Go ahead and go straight down. Good job. You want to do another yellow? Start at the top and go straight down. Good job. Put your top on your marker. Got to turn the cap the other way. Good job. Now can you click it shut? There you go. Choose you another color. Let's choose a darker color, something easier to see. Red, perfect. Can we do a circle this time? All right, ready to do a circle? Oops. Ready? So we're going to start here and go around. Good job, excellent. That's taken us several months to learn and still needs a little bit of assistance. That's good. Okay, I have 2 puzzles. I have the bear puzzle and I have the crab puzzle. Which one would you like to choose? Would you like the bear or the crab? Choose one. Sandy K likes to twirl her hair when she doesn't want to do something. Okay. Pick one, please. What would you like? You want to do the bear one? Okay. We'll do the bear puzzle. Let's open it. And let's take out the, there you go. Here are the pieces. Let's turn them the right way so we can see. All right. So the head goes up here, the feet go down there. All right. What would you like to choose first? That's the arms. Can you put the arms across here? Sandy K, look down, please. Nope, not to your mouth. So we're working on not putting things to your mouth and actually looking at what you're doing. All right, good job. Where did the little feet go? Nope, not to your mouth. Put on the puzzle. That's the head. I think the head goes up there. The feet go down there. Good job. Excellent. Choose another piece. That's the other foot. I don't think the foot goes on the head. That's the head. The foot goes there. You can put it down. Put it down. Excellent. Now the last is the head at the top. Just like your head is at the top of your body. So put the bear's head. Good job. Give me 5. Excellent.
All right, so I hope this has given you a little insight into Prader Willi Syndrome and how she's unique with Prader Willi Syndrome and autism, and also get you to look at Sandy Kay, maybe what she could do in one-on-one. I know that's totally different than what she could do in a classroom group setting, but at least we have an idea of where she is starting going into your class or going into your therapy. I hope you have a great year with Sandy Kay, and just know that I'm here to support you.